Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. We have two Alex Yanovskis in here. Should I kick the other one out, or
No,
what do
no,
you need?
no, it's uh, I want to draw to illustrate what I'm saying.
Wonderful, wonderful. You ready to dive into it? Not waste any time.
Yes.
Wonderful. So, I want you to interrupt me at any moment if you want to add something or if you have some thoughts. Go ahead and illustrate and draw. I could start off with a starting question, or you could just dive into it. Uh,
Yes.
However,
You
however.
you can ask a question.
Wonderful. So just to introduce you to anyone else that may be watching this in the future, Alex, he's my dad, he's my mentor, and he's been in business for 35 years now, uh, fairly long time. And he's
30,
been
30.
30 years. Okay. Oops. um, he's been teaching people for the last 15 now, right?
Yes.
He's been teaching people for the last 15 years. Just to for you guys to understand his accolades, he has a company with 10,000 employees. Um, $250 million in annual revenue they were doing. Um, Pretty big valuation, almost $500 million valuation company. And the company practically runs and continues to scale without Alex being involved within the day-to-day operations. So Alex, over the last couple of years, has created and refined the probably the best management system on the planet. I would say I haven't heard anything that's better. I use it for my own sales team right now, and he's helped people over the last 15 years um, also install these management systems inside of their business, and he's helped people two times, three times their revenue, two times, three times their profits, and overall just allow their business to grow and scale without them being part of the day-to-day operations. They could work on the business rather than in the business. Alex, do you have anything to add on to the introduction?
No, it's just not 250, 200 million.
So he's a humble guy, guys. He's a humble guy. 200
I'm trying to be accurate with the numbers. It's very important to be accurate.
100%. 100%. So over the last 35 years that you've been in business, my first question to you would be, what are some of the biggest mistakes that you've made throughout previous management processes that you had and things that you wish if you can go back and talk to your 26-year-old self or 24-year-old self when you just started business, it was 24, right? You were 24 years old. If you can go back and talk to your 24-year-old self, what are some of the first basic steps that you teach him?
In business, you have to understand that there are two parts. It's entrepreneurship and management. Entrepreneurship is something that it's very hard to teach. It's courage, it's creativity, it's energy, risk taking. Basically, talent. You have to have this. Talent. You cannot teach this just to give up salary, to take a risk, to come up with a product to sell. It's all entrepreneurship.
Mhm.
Very hard to teach. But right after you start the business and you took the risk and business up and running and you have first clients, you start hiring employees. And when you start hiring employees, it's all about management. Basically, if you, in other words, you have in life you have to learn just two things: to manage yourself and to manage others. If you want to be, uh, if you want to build a business, if you don't want to build a business, just uh, managing yourself, it's enough. Basically, entrepreneurship is managing yourself, managing your fear, managing your passion, taking action, writing down what you want to do, what you want to sell, and starting. But then it's managing people. And this was the most fascinating subject all my life, how to manage a large quantity of people. Even though I'm an entrepreneur, but management is even more interesting for me than entrepreneurship. So I've been focusing all my 30 years in business on finding the best possible algorithm system of managing other people. And I think I created the best possible system. Very simple, very effective, efficient. I can share it.
Yeah. Right before we do that, I would love to hear more about it. But why do you think that it's the best system on the planet?
Because I've never seen anything better. I'm 30 years in business myself, and it's not like I just created one day. It's evolution. It's every day improving the system that I started 30 years ago. This the most fascinating subject for me. So I've been looking all over the world and talking to managers, reading all the books, and it's everybody understands that that's one of the most important to manage, but just a lot of words, a lot of talk, a lot of ideas, but there is nothing. I could not find anything like so concrete, so simple, and understandable. So I've been working on myself, obviously learning from other people, but the most important is my experience, just managing people every day, hundreds and thousands of people, and so I have the system. I never seen anything even close.
Perfect. Wonderful. Let's get into it. What's the first place to start?
First place to start is to understand that very simple rule that in every team, no matter how many people you have, 100 people, 1,000 people, 10,000 people, you have technicians, specialists, workers, and managers. Just two types of people. That's it. Entrepreneur is entrepreneurship finishes when you start the business. You become a manager in your own company. Entrepreneurship is just to finding an idea and to starting, and then it that's also a mistake. Entrepreneurs think that if you ask who are you, is I'm entrepreneur. No, you're not entrepreneur. You're manager. You owner, yes. You shareholder, but you're managing the business. Your entrepreneurship finished when you started cash flow. Now it's managing other people to grow the company. So so you have to get the new identity of the manager. And entrepreneurs usually are bad managers, and then they don't want to learn management. It's not natural for them. So just two types of people: in technicians and managers. Also, I call it specialists. So basic difference is specialist is doing with his own hands, with his own brain, not managing other people. And manager is opposite. He's not doing himself or herself, just telling other people what to do. That's the main difference. So let's take an example of the company of just an example of 111 people, 111 employees, people total. You understand why 111 later. So usually the ratio of specialists and managers is 9 to 1. 90% of specialists in the company. On average, I've been working with hundreds of companies, and on average, it's 90-10. So from this 111 employees, you have 100 specialists. You have 10 managers of the, I call them M1, manager of first level manager, who is directly managing specialists. And one M2 is a second level manager who is managing M1. So M2 is the owner of or CEO of the company. Usually it's in this size of the company, it's the same person, it's an owner. But this one person cannot manage 100 people directly. That's why we need 10 M1s, 10 managers. Why 10? Because usually on average for every 10 specialists you need one manager. It's otherwise sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 15, but on average it's 10. You have to have a manager because specialists without manager would not do the work. So that's why if we have 100 specialists, we need 10 managers of the first level, M1s, M1 and one M2. Okay, let's take another example of company with 1,111 people. Most likely in this company around 1,000 specialists. Obviously, they cannot work without managers. Somebody should manage it. They cannot work with one manager, 1,000 specialists. So if we need for every 10 specialists, one manager, it means around 100 M1 we would need in this company. But also this 100 M1s, they would not be able to work without the higher management. Somebody should direct them and tell them what to do. So we would need 10, around 10 M2. And also these 10 people would not be able to work without somebody higher management. So the top person, CEO of this company is M3. So you have a structure of that's how you build a big company. There is no other way. The bigger the company becomes, you have the more specialists in different departments, in sales, in marketing, in accounting, very different departments. But but all employees, regardless of in which departments they work, they either specialist or manager. That's the first thing that you have to understand. And if you understand this rule, you already know the first most important thing in building the company is the organizational structure. So now I will ask you the question. I will ask you just tell me the company of the just name the size. 40 people, 30 people, 60 people. Just tell me the
76 people.
76 people. So for example, if I work with you, and you the owner of 76 people. First thing I'm gonna ask you, how many specialists you have?
52.
52. 52 specialists. It means that you have 24 managers.
Yeah. Not such a good ratio, is it?
Terrible. Let's calculate. 54 times divided by 24. It's you have for every manager just 2 employees. Why?
Yeah.
Waste of time, waste of money. You might as well hire 52 managers to have 1 manager, 1 employee. Why? So for the 52 specialists, you need not 24 managers, you need 5 managers.
Hmm. How much specialists can one manager manage? Up to how much specialists? How many?
It could be even up to 20. With
Hmm.
my system, it could be even up to 20. I will explain you why. Because usually in most of the companies, from 10 people, you have 2 A people. From 2 specialists, you have 2 A people. You have 3 C people and 5 B people, usually.
Can
And
you elaborate on what you mean by A, B, C people?
A, B, C meaning the great employee,
Mm.
average employee, and bad employee. As far as the productivity, as far as results. So 90% of all your time as a manager you spend on the C employees usually. The best employees, they just work with very, very little time spent on them. They just know what to do. They're responsible and hardworking and productive, and they get results. So with my system, you will get, like, in 3 months, all employees will be A. So when you have the team of A people, you can even manage 20 people. When you have C people, 5, when you have 5 under you, it's already a headache, and you work so many hours and there is no results. But when you have all great players, you can even up to 20. That's why this is a very good system in many ways. You get the lower ratio managers to employees, because one manager can manage more specialists.
Mhm. And you also get 8 people on your team.
Just give me 1 minute, okay? I'll be right back.
Of course. Guys, for those of you guys who are watching, just to give you a little bit more context on Alex, of course, we gave him the introduction with 10,000 employees, $200 million in annual revenue. And I want you guys to also understand that it was in the retail business. So he runs the biggest sushi chain in the whole entire world, sushi franchise. It's called Sushi Master. You guys can search it up on the internet. They have about 735 locations worldwide, primarily based in Eastern Europe. And this is the first time that Alex is working with English speaking people. So, for those of you guys who are on here, you're one of the few. Alex is back, so we can continue, but you're one of the few people who understand the system within the English speaking market. Alex, I was giving them a rundown on exactly the niche that you were in business, or you're in right now, the retail business and so forth. So let's get back into it.
Right. So basically, with 52 employees, you have 5 managers. You need to have 5 managers.
Yeah.
And it could be even less. It could be even 3, down to 3 if you have my system running for a few months.
And me as the
Well,
CEO,
with the 3 managers, you can get better results than with the like 10, 15, 20 managers.
yeah. And me as the CEO, I just work directly with these 5 or 3 people, however many managers they are. And
Yes,
they,
in my system, the unbreakable rule, you just work with your first line,
Mhm.
with your direct report. You cannot go, you don't go deeper. You know everything about everybody, but you're not managing. You can talk to them. I can go and talk to my employees as like a grandfather, just asking them question, how are you, just getting, but never just telling them what to do, never managing them, because they have manager. They know that I'm even higher in the chain. But if I start telling them what to do, that's one of the biggest mistakes small and medium size owners make. They think if they have 67 people, they have to manage everybody. If you start managing everybody, then you're not giving the power and authority to your managers. The employees will stop listening to their managers. So I call it grandfather rule.
Mhm.
So the M2 is grandfather, M1 is father, and specialists are children. So only father can manage. The grandfather just can come, give the candies, say something nice, find out the information, but never just
Mhm.
telling them what to do.
So not only is it not right, but it's actually dangerous for the business.
Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Will not grow.
Yeah. A lot of business owners that I speak to and that I see, they want to scale, but if they leave for a day on vacation or 2 days, go on a family trip, their business starts to collapse and people start to not work. The business is not as effective as when they're in the office controlling absolutely everybody and micromanaging everybody. So why do they face that problem and how can that problem be solved?
They just don't have a management system. Everything works spontaneously.
Yeah.
What's the difference between system and spontaneous work? System is something that you do every day with a certain sequence, at a certain time.
Yeah.
That's a system. If you wake up and just deciding on the go what you're gonna do, that's spontaneous. Spontaneously, you can only manage small and small plus company, maybe medium, up to like 40 people, 30 people. But then it will start falling apart because there is no systems, and you have to have 2 types of systems: systems for specialists, for employees, business processes, routines, exactly what they have to do, and management system. And the biggest mistake that I've seen is that companies, the small companies want to become medium companies. They understand that, and they start having processes for employees, for specialists. But they don't make business processes for managers.
Mhm.
So basically, they hire the manager. They promote usually somebody from specialist to manager, and When the specialist was doing the work himself, he already had the processes. But when he became manager, he started to manage spontaneously. How you, what was the result yesterday, like asking random questions and just without any particular system. So my goal was created the absolute precise system, what you need to do first, second, third, like exact steps for, especially for M1s, because you have to remember that 90% of all your employees are specialists. So if you will have a perfect M1s, if you will have the great first level managers, then all the specialists will work on the top level. So the key in every company, no matter how big is the company, is M1, because they will cover 90% of employees, and only employees, only specialists, they do all the work. The managers, they don't do anything. They don't create any values for the client. They just all the work the specialists do for the clients.
So the manager should not do
Just
anything with the
it's something that it's we cannot do without, because that's the nature of the people. They will not work without the direction, with the goals, with the control.
Mhm.
So the most important, let's say you have 100 specialists. Your your most important goal is that this 100 specialists work every day on the A level. They can work A level, B level, C level every day. My system requires daily management, daily, not monthly. You manage everybody daily, and you have to understand how each employee performs daily. Can you imagine your company with 100 specialists, where each of them work on A level daily? The success is inevitable, right? As long as you sell the right product, the rest is just doing it, execution. So the goal is to make the specialist to work perfectly. But in order to accomplish this goal, you have to have M1s, those managers of the first level, uh, uh, managing correctly. But you usually promote somebody with charisma, with some management talent, but the person doesn't have any system. So he has his 10 people and he starts, how are you? Let's do it. Just inspiration mainly, control, but it's all more or less spontaneous. Okay, so that's the first part. You understand now that in order for a specialist to work on the A level, you have to have M1. But in order to have M1 working on the grade level, you have to have a M2. So usually in a company with around 100 people, M2 is the entrepreneur.
turned manager.
Is entrepreneur manager, yes. And in order for, but his goal is that his 100 specialists work every day on the A level.
Mhm.
So he needs to teach his 10 M1s the system. And those M1s, they're not entrepreneur. They're systematic people as long as you give them the system. But entrepreneur is usually spontaneous, is creative, not system-oriented person. 90% of entrepreneurs they like composers. You have composer, conductor, and musician. So composer is just creating the music. Conductor is a systematic guy, and musicians they system oriented. So that's the biggest problem. That's why I'm teaching entrepreneurs how to hire M2, the right M2, give him or her the system that I created, and then he will teach the system M1, and then they will manage daily all the employees.
Wonderful. So just to recap, you also mentioned that all the work is actually done by the specialists. I feel like a lot of companies, they have managers. Their title is a manager, but they do some of the heavy lifting with their own hands. That's not correct, correct? All the specialists should be.
That's correct in the small companies, but you have to treat it as a transition. If you think that it's normal, it's not normal. When it's like in a transition, it's normal. When you have coach who plays sometimes also, yeah, it's okay as long as your team is not. Let's say you have you're coach of the team.
Yeah.
Basketball, let's say team. You need 5 people, but you have 4. You think it's better for them to play 4, or better for me to start playing as a 5th player and coaching them at the same time? In this situation, yes, better is for you to start playing and coaching. But as soon as you have 5, no, you have to step away and just coach. So the goal of every company for manager not to do anything, only coach players.
Yeah.
But when the company is growing, sometimes only 3 people in the department. And a lot of work, and there is no money to hire force. So you tell the manager half of the day you do the work and half of the day you manage. Yes, it's normal as long as your goal is to stop that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's temporary. It should be temporary, not permanent.
So basically, there's just two things that we really have to understand. We have to understand, number one, how to manage specialists, and number two, how to manage managers.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. The 2 things in management. If you master, for example, you ask me, teach me management. So first, I'm gonna teach you how to manage specialists.
Yeah.
And
So
after you master that, I will teach you how to manage managers, and that's it.
yeah, just give me 7 seconds.
Sure.
What was that? 9 seconds? All right. So, is there anything else that we should know about the organizational structure of the business before moving on to actually the concrete details on how we can exactly manage specialists?
There are many nuances, but this is enough for the first time, for the beginning.
Okay. Wonderful. All right, so let's move along into how can M1s manage specialists? Or you take it away as you wish.
Yes.
You know better.
Okay. So M1, typical M1 has 10 specialists. That's normal. That's a good team. So the foundation of my system is that this M1 has to manage them daily. Let us assume I'm M2, you M1, and you have 10 employees. So me as M2, I want to see how I'm paying you money for managing them daily. What's what does it mean, management? Management is what? Managing is two things. Me as M1, you as M1, and this is your specialist. So I want to see how you manage, as an example, this first person. And the same goes for all 10. So if I teach you one, that means that you will know how to manage all 10. So first you have to give them a list of tasks for a day before 9 a.m., before work starts. So me as an M2, I want to make sure, if you're a good manager, that you give direction to your player. You have 10 players. So I think more I perceive them as a coaches, not even managers. For me, coach is a much better word than manager. Coach and player, but I still call it M1. So if you're coach and this is your player, first you need to do is give him a direction, exact list of things what he needs to do. Let's assume you have a salesperson. This is a player sales person. So you tell him today, make this amount of calls, no less. You must call these people, not just random, because you might make 100 calls, but wrong people will not get results. You have to call the people that most likely will buy. So my job, your job as a coach, first is list of tasks before 9 a.m. And second thing as a coach, you have to analyze previous day of the player. So just you do three things as a manager. Team, create a team. That's the most important. So if you need 10 players, you have to find them. But when you have team, you just do two things as a manager, just two. Creating a list and analyzing. But first, you analyze the previous day to create a list for the next day. Because you're not doing the work, they're doing the work. But
Yeah.
you have to tell them what to do. But in order to tell what to do, you have to analyze. Deep analysis, I call it 360-degree analysis of your player, each player, daily. Analysis how they worked previous day, and you digest all this information, and you come up with a new list of tasks. You do this, you do this, you do this. So each player, if you're a great coach, you give the different tasks for each player because they all have different weaknesses. They have to work on different things. So two main responsibilities of M1. Very simple, right?
Yeah, give them a list of tasks and make sure that the tasks are completed for the previous day.
Yes. But then analysis, 360-degree analysis.
Of how well those tasks were completed?
360-degree analysis consists of 6 steps. That's the system. So you have to properly analyze previous day, which takes 6 steps in order only one purpose of this analysis, to create the right list for tomorrow. Otherwise, what's the point to spend time on the past?
Yeah.
This is the past. So basically, another analogy is like when you shoot with the gun, you aim first and then you shoot. So if you shoot without aiming, you will not reach the goals. It all will go not to the goal. But why we first aim and shoot? Because just this time of aiming will increase this probability of 100 times that you will reach the goal. So the analysis of the previous day is like aiming, and then the list is shooting. Because for you as a manager, your work is the list. Their work is to complete the list of your player, but your work is to create the list. So 6 steps. First 3 steps of analyzing previous day is analyzing effort, and after that 3 more steps is analyzing results. Very simple. All work is effort and then result. Effort and result. There is nothing more. In sports, the same. We have effort and we have a score. We have effort and we have a score. If you wanna something different in the scores, we need to change the effort. It means that we need to manage both effort and results. Effort and results. Manage is to analyze. For what? To make a decision, because the list for the next day is decision. So there's nothing more in business. In business, just 2 things: making decision what to do and do it. Making decision what to do and do it. So if the company doesn't have a results, it means that 2 things just can go wrong. Either the decisions are wrong, or decisions are right, and they just the team is not doing what the manager decided. Sometimes, so if you see that there is no result, so you start digging, start analyzing why. It's either because of decisions. So if you see that the people did exactly what they were told, the specialists, it means that list was wrong. That manager's fault, because if the specialist did exactly what manager told him to do and there is no result, it means that list wrong. But if you see that the manager, the employees are not doing exactly what they told, There is no results. You start digging. You look at the performance of employees. They're not doing what they told. It doesn't mean that the list is right. It can be both. The list could be wrong, and they didn't do it. So that's why it sounds very simple. That's the genius of the system. That's very, very simple. But if you do it like religiously every day, following this 6 steps of analysis and then creating a list, it's basically 7-step system. It's 6 steps of analysis, and the final step is the list. Why the system is so powerful? Because you see right away where the problem in the list of things, in the decisions or executions. You just see right away daily, because you have decision, execution, and results. So the results, you always look and you're either happy or not happy. Most of the time we're not happy with the results. So now we have to understand it's where is the problem: decisions or executions. Execution. In order to, it's elimination method called. In order to understand where the problem, you have to eliminate. So you start with the execution, and you see everybody, every 10 people, they had lists, each of them, and they did everything, and still there is no result. So you eliminate execution. So you understand that it's obviously in these decisions. So that's the power of this system.
Let's stop it right there, because in order to create proper decisions, you have to first see if people are executing. What if you're giving them a list of things to do and they're not executing, they're not completing the task? What do you do as a manager?
Obviously, you in the beginning you talk to them. You're not firing right away. It's not profitable, because it takes time and money to hire somebody else. But your goal as a manager. Okay, let me give you an example. I'm M2, you M1, and you have 10 team. So I have daily meeting with you. So first, I start the meeting with always with understanding from 10 people you have, how many I call it first level, second level, third level, and fourth level employees. What's first level for me? First level is like A, B, C, D. What's first level? First level is working hard and getting good results. It's a first level. Hard working and good results. Second level is lazy but good results. You always have in the team usually some people that are experienced, lazy, but conversion is very good. Quality is very good. This is the second level. Third level, hardworking, but better results. Third level, I call them 3A and 3B. I divide by 2, 3A, 3B. So if hardworking and no results, usually 2 reasons. It's either we didn't teach him yet, and after we will spend some time and we'll teach, and this person will become first level. So
Mhm.
3A become very fast. They become first level
With the right coaching.
with the right coaching. But 3B is just not probably smart enough. I mean, he tries hard, not talented, whatever. He tries hard, but no matter how much you coach, there is no results.
Mhm.
So 3B goes obviously out of the team.
Mhm.
And fourth level is lazy and not uh, no results. So we start a meeting. I'm M2 and you M1. You show me your team on the screen, and I see you that you have.
One second. Sorry about that. We start a meeting.
Yes, I'm with you.
I'm with you as well. So we start a meeting.
So we start a meeting, and right away, um, I see your 10 people, and I see. First, I look at numbers.
Mhm.
First person, first level, first level, first level, then third level, 3A or 3B, fourth level. So I see somebody fourth level. I ask you why. It's a simple question. Why you have somebody is lazy and not productive in your team? It's gonna be hard to explain. You will feel not very good, and you will try for the next meeting to come for the meeting with me without this person already, because management is a gentle pressure.
Mhm.
You have to pressure gently, not to hurt ego. So I'm just nicely ask you, Ilan, why you need somebody who is lazy and not productive? You would not be able. So this is the right question. Create a gentle pressure on you, and without me, you probably would not change this person. But with the pressure of M2 of me to you, gentle pressure, you will because you M1, M2. Imagine that I have M3 boss, my boss. So he's a little bit tougher, and he says, "Listen, Alex, I see in this team that Ilan manages. Not everybody level 1. Why? We have 8 billion people. So why we can't find just 10 people hardworking and and productive? Not productive. Result.
Get
Oriented.
him. Results oriented, yeah.
getting the result. What should I tell him? I mean, it's called Socrates' method, when you just ask the question that you should answer, that there is no other way to answer. Your answer is the way the other person wants you to answer. You said, "You right?"
Mm-hmm.
So then, if he is a smart M3, he will tell me, "So Alex, how long do you think you need to have all 10 people in Elon's team from 8 billion?"
That are on the planet, yeah.
That what should I say? I would say maximum 3 months, I would say. He said, "Okay." That's called gentle pressure.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't yell at me, he didn't put me down, but right after the meeting I call you, Ilan, I need to have a meeting with you today. So I do the same thing. So when we start, you have, let's say, 4 employees in your team, L1, level 1,
Mm-hmm.
2 L2, level 2, uh, 2 level 3, 1 is 3A and 1 3B, and 2 level 4. So I will target with you. So now in 3 months I have to show your team to my boss, because my boss is smart. Results is one thing, but effort is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to have all A players on every level, and then results. He understands that obviously results, it's totally related to the effort. Can we have a good results with the bad effort? Yes, sometimes, but it's not a system. Sometimes it's a like a luck factor. It's like in casino. But if we want to win consistency, we have to have daily A-level effort from each employee.
Mm-hmm.
I focus with you. I know that I have 3 months, so I need first to get rid of this. Not me, you to get rid of this L4. So I have a conversation. Why from 10 people? Look at the performance. Look at the laziness. Everybody makes 100 calls. They make 50 calls. Everybody have 20% conversion. They have 10% conversion. We're losing money. We're losing leads, burning leads. I have this. I put the gentle pressure on you. Next time you come, you have 10 people, but already 1 person L4. Our next meeting, you have 0 personnel for. They move up. Then I target on when I get rid of 4 level 4 people, I start pushing you level 3B. I say, Ilan, look, this person is, yes, he's hardworking. He's making 100 calls, but conversion is very low. And we listen to his calls, quality is not good. And whether the level is 3A, is 3B is not my decision. It's you came to the meeting and you told me that he's 3B, not me told you. Because if it's a 3A, it's great. It's this person 2, 3, 4 weeks will become L1, level 1. But 3B, it means that you already gave a lot of effort and a lot of lessons and coaching, and the person is not changing. So also we get rid of this person. And now 2 weeks later, you have 10 people, and there is no L4 and no 3B, L3B. So now I start targeting, I'm focusing with you on 3A, faster, to teach them faster, so they become level 1. And the last, the very last, you have 10 people, 8 of them level 1 and 2 level 2. And I start telling you, Ilan, why you need lazy good performance? Let's have 2 more. And that's it. 3 months later, you have all level 1 people in your team. But it has to be specific. That's why we need to measure a lot of things in order to specifically understand what does it mean lazy and hardworking in this particular work, and what's good result and what's bad result.
Which takes us back to the 6-step system that we're gonna learn in just a little bit. But if someone doesn't complete their tasks for the day, that means that they're either level 2 or they're lazy but profitable. They don't get 100 calls, they get 80, but yet they still have a pretty high conversion. Or they're level 4 where they're lazy but also the conversion is very, very low. Very low. The results are also bad. So if I give them tasks, they don't complete the tasks, they're either in one of those 2 levels. How do I have a conversation with them to see, to have them start completing their tasks every single day? I know there's different types of leadership. There's different types of, I'm your manager, right? It's first step is like, hey, I'm your boss, you do what I say, which is not always so effective because
do that. I never do that.
Yeah. So what's the best way to have the conversation with them to get them?
I just discuss using the common sense Socrates method. I just ask them questions. They say yes. Do you agree that's the right way to do? Yes. Can we agree that you will do this work tomorrow? He says yes. So I make them say yes, 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 because I'm not forcing him. I'm paying him money, and for this money, I want this work.
Yeah.
And he says yes. So I manage through agreements. I call it agreements. I make agreement, and then the person, if the person is breaking the agreement, that I don't want to work with the person who is constantly breaking agreement.
Yeah. And how much time will you give them for them to actually?
I don't have this rule how much time. I just see how I feel. If I still have patience, if I don't feel stupid, I continue. But sometimes I already start feeling myself stupid, paying him money and not agreeing, fulfilling my part, just paying whatever. Because agreement, it's always both sides. I'm gonna pay you this for this work. So we made an agreement. I paid. He screwed me. I paid. He didn't do his job. So I feel stupid.
Yeah.
Once I feel stupid, I cannot tolerate it anymore. So until I feel stupid, I do it. But you have to remember this one rule that people don't know and make mistakes from my observation, that you can only change somebody 10, maximum 20%. 80% people don't change. No matter who is talking. Dalai Lama, Jesus Christ, whatever, the Jack Welch, Warren Buffett will whatever you tell them, they will 80% will not change. Which means that key is in selection of the right person. If you select the right person, it's easy. It's the same with the wife. If you find the wrong girl, no matter what effort you make, to change yourself, her, will be useless. It's much easier to find the right girl, and there is no effort. Everything is goes very, very smoothly.
Well, it's not so easy, but it's easier than dealing with the wrong one.
Yes. Wrong one, it's no matter what's the effort, will not work. So it's
Yeah.
better even not to start making an effort. So if
Okay.
you see with an employee, if you see that with a team member that it's difficult, you make agreements and he is breaking the agreement or she,
Yeah.
then it's better to divorce, fire, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Select.
Okay.
Always focus on selecting. Mhm.
Yeah. That makes sense on the productivity side of things if they're not completing their tasks. What about when we go into the third level and there's 3A, 3B? Um, you're working with someone, or you say that someone is 3B, you've worked with him for 2, 3 months, he has not gotten any better. How do you know if it's him, or how do you know if it's you teaching him the incorrect things? Maybe you're a bad coach and you're not teaching him properly. How do
Very,
you understand?
very simple. You M1, I'm M2, and this is your player.
Yeah.
When you coach him, it's recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Me as an M2, I will listen to those recordings. And I will, as your manager, I need to manage you. I need to evaluate you. And if you teaching them incorrectly, even if you hire the right people, you will burn all of them.
Yeah.
Me as a M2 I have to make sure that you are teaching them right. So I will listen to your coaching sessions, your meetings with them. And if I see that you're a great coach, then I'm sure 100% that there are no results because of them, not because of you. So I just
Mm-hmm.
gently pressuring you to get rid of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um,
Because if
well,
you're teaching them wrong, I need to get rid of you. I need to hire somebody else who is a
correct.
good coach.
Like some M2s will get rid of their M1 and get rid of the manager who's managing the players if the results aren't there. Like they don't go into actually seeing how you coach them. They're like, oh, your team is just not getting results. That means you're doing something wrong and you're not teaching them correctly, right?
That's the
Which is
usually how it works. So usually mm, entrepreneurs act like let's say basketball team owner who
yeah.
is not visiting, who is not watching the game and just seeing the results.
So we lost.
You will lost. 3 games in a row we lost, so I need to. He calls the coach, fire everybody. It's wrong because sometimes you can play great and still lose.
Yeah.
So so they that's why it's so important to analyze efforts, not only see results.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at the results and then see the effort very deeply.
Yeah.
And great managers sometimes the team lost and they tell the guys,
Tell
great job.
great. And
And
sometimes,
sometimes team won, and you have to. That's how the great manager. Because the most important to reinforce the right effort.
mhm. So that would be wrong from the M2 to just make like an assumptive decision. Oh, because we're not winning, that means that you're a bad coach and you're teaching them incorrectly. Meanwhile, they have not listened to how you're coaching them. They just see the results.
Yes, it's a
Right.
lazy style of management. Only manage by results. Only, oh, results are good. It means my team is good. Results are bad. Sometimes economy. Sometimes many things can happen.
Yeah,
You can do all the right things, but results will be not so good.
correct. What if it's in a situation where like the M2 is He's great at a lot of things. And he understands marketing, he understands sales, he understands finance, he understands legal, and he's the CEO who controls all of the M1s. And he hires an M1 who's a sales manager, who's a sales professional. And he hires this person because he knows that this person is able to sell better than he can, right? So how would M2 understand if the M1 is coaching their team correctly if the M1 is better at sales than the M2?
Great question. Um, when you try to build a big company, there are many things that you will not be an expert.
Yeah.
So I use experts all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I use experts. Let's say I have a marketing director, and I'm not an expert in marketing. So
Mm-hmm.
I hire
Mm-hmm.
independent expert, maybe not full time, as it like maybe once a week, 1 hour, like the expert, renowned expert, and independent of my marketing director. So because without them, I don't understand whether they're doing right or wrong.
Yeah.
So I always when I start working with a company where I don't have an expertise in the product I'm able to start managing them and help them very first day
Mm-hmm.
only because I have an expert on my side, the entrepreneur who built this company for 10 years. He knows all the nuances, and he brings me, and I start working with his managers, and they start telling me something. There is no way for me to understand whether they're bullshitting or telling me, but I have him as an expert next to me. So I ask him, "Is this correct?" He says, "Yes." Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like,
Be an expert in everything. You can't.
yeah,
It's stupid even to try.
correct. Yeah.
You have
So
to be an expert in bringing right experts.
correct. Yeah. 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 So you're my M2, I'm the M1. If you don't know, I'm the sales manager. If you don't know much about sales, the only way that you're going to understand if I'm coaching my team correctly is you bringing a third party, being like, hey, listen to how he's coaching his players. Is he doing a good job? Is he not doing a good job? Expert says, yes, he's doing a good job. That means that even if the results aren't there, I am still doing what I have to do as an M1 and
Yeah.
coaching my team correctly.
Plus, as an M2, I'm step by step becoming an expert,
Learning it. Yeah, correct.
learning and trying so this independent expert, first of all, he's evaluating you. Second of all, he's teaching me.
Mm-hmm. 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 So as an M1, we now understand how to, number one, get rid of people who aren't productive and how to have those conversations with them to make sure that they're doing the tasks. And number two, how to understand if how you're teaching the person is correct. Those three Bs, how do you really understand if they're three As or three Bs, right? Whether they are hardworking and have the result to become top level talent, or they're hardworking but they're just dumb. You know, based off your coaching. Okay, is there anything else that you feel like we need to discuss before moving on into the six step system of analyzing your specialists every day?
No, it's okay. We can move to the
Okay, well, wonderful.
7 steps. 6 step, and again, 6 step analyzing
Mm-hmm.
in order for making a list for
Of decision
of deciding what your player has to do tomorrow.
tasks, yeah, makes sense. Okay, wonderful.
Okay, so again, 3 is effort and 3 results. You have to remember this. We have to and by analyzing 3 types of effort and 3 types of results, we analyzed 360 degrees.
Mhm.
Very simple. What's an effort? First, second, third. First is I want to know as an M2 you come to me and you talk about like John, your player. I want to know what percentage of the list of the tasks he did yesterday that you gave him. So you come to me and you say he did 90%, 9 out of 10,
Mhm. So
and
this
you
was the
this is the
quant.
first. This is the first percentage of the yesterday lists of what he did, what was he supposed to do, and what he did.
I know you usually refer to that as quantity of effort, right?
Um, a little. I will explain later.
Okay.
Yeah, percent of list.
Completed tasks. Okay.
Then second is uh, quality of work. Is
Hmm.
it possible that he did 9 out of 10, but with a bad quality? Of course. So I want to know what's the percentage of the tasks that you gave him and you agreed. Not only you gave him, because my philosophy of management, there is no, you're not forcing them, you're not giving them to do things. You create a list and then you need to agree with him. Here's what I need to do. Do you agree? Yes, boom, that's an agreement. So quality of work, you understand the difference between quantity and quality. I mean, you listen to the 10 conversations, he did all 10, the quantity is great, but quality is poor. Absolutely possible. And vice versa. But it could be quantity is poor, bad, and quality is great. So we need to evaluate both. And the third thing in effort, I need to know how many hours he worked yesterday. Not what, not sitting on his desk, on his chair, not being at work, working. Big difference. You can be at work 8 hours, but actually working 4 hours. You as an M1, you have to know the details. Without knowing the details, you cannot be M1. M2, M3 possibly, as we discussed earlier, possibly could be not an expert. But you as M1 supposed to know. So you're supposed to be able to judge whether he worked 3 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours. Worked. So
How
let's,
was I able to understand how much he actually worked?
you as an M1 manager in sales team, you used to be a salesperson.
Yeah.
First of all, you have a system, you have everything is recorded. You know exactly how many phone calls he made, how many minutes he spoke. You know approximately how long takes to input the information in the CRM system. So you
Yeah.
evaluate to the best, to the reasonable degree of your experience. You evaluate how many he really worked, because you're an expert. You M1 supposed to be an expert. So let's assume we discuss John on our meeting, M2, M1 meeting.
Hmm.
John is your player. And you told me, he completed 90% of your tasks, of my tasks. Then you go to the quality. Quality is excellent. He worked 8 hours.
Hmm.
I said, great, Ilan. I say, great, Ilan, but you make small mistakes and I correct you. When you said 90%, you didn't say whether it's excellent, good, bad, or poor. Or you say it's good, it's not excellent. And if it's not excellent, you have to analyze. That's the key in my system. Analyze, analyze. So this system forces you to think.
Hmm.
You wanted to jump and go further, and I'm not allowing you as your manager to go further until you analyze.
Mm-hmm.
So you said he did 90% or 80%. This is good, but if it's not great, if it's not excellent, you have to. I need your I want to hear your thoughts about that. And you start, yeah, he could do better, but okay, fine. So the analysis, I need analysis, because only if you analyze properly all 6 steps, then you will make the right decision for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that the difference between the Warren Buffett $100 billion guys and poor people? It's in decisions. They make different decisions.
Yeah.
So me as an M2, my job is for you to make the best possible decisions for tomorrow. The yesterday is gone. We need the best possible decisions for tomorrow. So, but decisions based on analysis, deep analysis. So you said he did 90%. This is good. I will tell him to you analyze, fine. Quality of work excellent. If it's excellent, no analysis. We go further. Then you said 8 hours, fine. So we finished first 3 steps. We finished analyzing effort.
Mm-hmm. But you also have to say if the hours are excellent, good.
Yeah, you basically we have understanding that 8 is okay, is great, so we might go further. So it looks like it takes long time, but my system, when you master it, it's
Mm-hmm.
like 2 minutes each employee, 5 minutes each.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like if you basketball player, it's very important before every game the full body stretch, to stretch every muscle. Otherwise, it's dangerous. So this is like stretching. So you're analyzing all 6 things. There is nothing else. You analyze all 6 things for each player. So it means you stretch everybody and you make a right decision for each player. That's all. So we finished with this 3 steps of effort, and then we're analyzing results. Results is also 3 things. First is operational results.
Mm-hmm.
Second is financial results. And third is his level. Very simple. So we always talk about his level. First, second, third, A, third, B, or fourth. So you told me, basically, let's start from the beginning. You tell me about John. John is 90% did the list, which is, or 100%, which is great. Quality of work excellent. 8 hours. Operational results: 100 calls, 50 people he spoke to, 3 minutes average. Conversion is 28%. Whatever is the metrics, most important metrics, which is not money. Operational things is everything which is important to measure, but not money. Pre-money. For example, when you have a restaurant, and you deliver food, how many minutes takes average delivery? It's not money, but it's important to measure because it influences the money. So that's the definition of operational results. It's everything which is important to measure, but not money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Can you give a couple of more examples? Because from the sales side of things, I understand dials, pickups, got this amount of set appointments, spoke to this amount of people, so forth. What examples can you give for other businesses that maybe don't have a sales team or they're looking to manage a different department? What can be operational?
Of an employee, I told you the cook. in the kitchen, in the restaurant. For example, how many, and making sushi, how many rolls did he do today? How long does it take? Did it take 10 minutes, 10 minutes, average, each one an average. What's the customer rating for this restaurant?
How do you count how many rolls someone created in a day? If you're managing.
We have informational system. Each cook, before he starts, he press the button, and when he finishes, he press the button. We know exactly how many minutes each.
Okay.
We have 3,000 chefs in our restaurants. We know real time how long does it take for each of them. We have the best, the worst every day ratings.
Wow.
As far as time, as far as then time is important, but quality.
But that goes back to effort, right?
Then
Quality.
then quality is yes, quality is how we measure. We take a picture of every roll, automatically picture, and we have a department who takes how it looks.
Quality of the.
Yeah, but can it be fast, look good, but disgusting? Yes. The only way, the third parameter, we call the clients and we ask from 0 to 10, how good was your whatever today was your lunch? Excellent. Okay, 10 or terrible. So we score. And this is not money, but very important to measure, because if you cannot measure, you cannot manage. And if you want to improve something, you have to measure. No way to improve you if you're not measuring every day. That's called operational results. Financial results, it's the most important. Money. If it's a sales team, it's a revenue. But sometimes in many businesses, most of the employees, they don't have a direct influence on revenue.
Yeah.
In this way, I like to talk about expense. How much this employee cost the company yesterday? But he did this amount of work, and we paid him $200 yesterday. So we have to be aware of this, what we got, what we spent. That's for me the most important. That M1, if I'm M2, we talk about every day. So he is not forgetting. He's always remember that money is not growing on the trees, and he always like this balance that he needs to feel that he is paying, even though the company is paying. But he needs to feel, if he's a good manager, that he is paying from his own pocket.
So do we still score on a level of like great, excellent, or bad about financial results?
Yeah, you have to analyze. Remember the 6th step of analysis. It's not only you not say 100 call plan was 100 conversation, fact is 50. This is all information, but you have to analyze to say this is bad because, and what you're gonna do. Here the analysis.
How would financial results be analyzed? I understand it.
Plan fact. You have plan. You have goal. By the July 15, we were supposed to already have 100,000 of revenue, but we have 80,000. This is B minus, 20% less. Then analysis. Analysis is why. It's going deeper and answering the trying to understand why. And that's the management forcing everybody's under you to think. Specialists, most of them, this just supposed to do the work. Thinking is 20%, doing is 80%. But manager is 99% is thinking.
Right. So the specialists that have a direct impact on revenue, for example, a salesperson, right? You would set a plan for him for a day. You have to bring in $1,000 today, right? Um, and if he hits the plan or exceeds the plan, then he worked excellent in regards to financial results for the day. But how do you determine whether it's excellent, good, or bad if someone doesn't have a direct impact on revenue? For example, a chef, you can count their
No,
operation.
if it's a financial results, then it's just uh, let's say you paid $100
Mm-hmm.
today to this chef, and he did a terrible work, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to analyze what you're gonna do about that. Are you gonna keep paying him $100 with this? So I'm just gentle pressure. Remember with my questions. Is
Yeah.
it fair? I'm too. I have a meeting with you. Do you think it's fair? You paid him $100 and he worked 4 hours only and did
Mhm.
this lazy, bad quality work. You say no. Without me, you would tend to not think about it. I'm forcing with my question to think about the truth.
Right.
Then you realize, and then you feel shame,
Mm-hmm.
and then you change. And you after meeting me and you go talk to him, and you tell, listen, that's not gonna work. We're paying you 3 days in a row, $200 per day, but getting the value like $50. So it's we're breaking the law of nature. There's supposed to be balance in everything.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me a couple more examples on operational results? Let's say with a marketer who's supposed to, I don't know, make social media content for you and run some sort of paid advertisements. What would be operational results that that person would be responsible for?
How many creatives he's supposed to draw or whatever? How
Mm-hmm.
many ads?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Whatever he needs to do in numbers.
Mm-hmm. What about a car mechanic?
How many cars
He fixed.
he fixed today?
Interesting.
I
Interesting.
mean, every job has operational results. Some of them have financial in terms of revenue, like salespeople, like
Mm-hmm.
specific revenue. But most
Yeah.
of the employees, they have, as far as financial results, they only have expense, how much we paid them. We don't know for sure how much revenue this person brought to the firm.
So for all of these 3 steps for effort, 3 steps for results, there has to be a plan, and then we also have to analyze the results for the
Of
previous day.
course, all the truth you can only understand in comparison.
Yeah.
Truth only in comparison. If you don't have you see, number one,
Tasks.
you don't have a list, then you cannot compare to the list. Then you don't know whether it's 90%, 30%. That's why first has to be planned.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, quality. If you don't know what's great quality, you cannot compare the actual quality with what's in your mind, how it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be. Then you have to have a standard of how many hours. 8 hours, supposed to be 6 hours work. So always comparison. Operational result, you have goals, plan, and fact.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes, for example, you're managing a mechanic, and the plan is to have 10 cars fixed today, but there just was not 10 customers that entered the shop today. So is it fair to give him a bad or even
Of course
good?
not. Of course not. That's why we're analyzing.
Mm-hmm.
If he did everything in his power, he was at work, he was ready to fix 10 cars, but it was only 5. So we paid him like for 8. It's not his fault. It's manager supposed to do something.
Yeah, to get more customers to the
Yeah.
door.
That's another thing why most companies managing badly, because they're punishing people not for their mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I'm a soldier and you my boss in the army. You tell me do this and this and this. I did that. Your boss came, sees there is no result and punishing you and me. But it's not my fault. I did exactly what you told me. I came to work. You told me to do this. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
very important um, to compensate or to punish. You know what I mean? Punish. I mean in financial terms. Right people.
Yeah.
But in order to understand, you have to do this 360-degree analysis, 6-step analysis. Then you have complete picture and you know exactly what decisions to make for tomorrow.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Everything else is, I call it lazy management, lazy. Just look at the result and then call the guys. Guys, it's not enough. You have to work better. How are you? What's up? Come on. This is like not professional way of managing.
Right. And if the specialists are all completing their tasks, working high quality, working a good amount of hours per day, they have the operational results, but the money is not coming, like there's actually no results. That means that maybe the management is not giving the correct tasks to the specialists. I'm not telling you to do the correct things if it's not actually leading to results. So I
Yes.
have to rethink my.
Of course, my job as an M2, first to make sure that you have a team of level 1 people.
Mhm,
Second, to make sure every day I'm managing you every day. I'm watching that you're giving them the right list of things to do.
mhm,
Because if you give them the wrong list, even if they will do it, will be no results. And third, making sure that you do 360 analysis daily of each of your employee.
mhm. And
Because
checking that.
that's the only way you will do the right list to them.
Mhm,
And to make sure that you make fast decisions. If it has to be, the person has to be fired, you fire fast. You're not like waiting for long, and we're not spending every day $200 and getting 50 in return.
right.
Like measuring. Me as an M2, I'm forcing you to measure everything daily. Not only measure the financial results. You see, the difference is, yes, financial results, everybody learned to see every day how much money we receive, how much money we spend. But this is only one part. This is the final part of the business. This is the result, but effort is the most important, to manage effort.
Right. Okay, so I'm an M1. I wake up in the morning. What's the first step that I have to do? What's the second step? Third step?
You take for your first player is John, so you go to the system and you start filling out the form. First, you analyze John yesterday, what he was supposed to do. You have this in the system, his tasks. You see what he did. You give a score and analysis. Then you go to second, the quality. Then you go to how many hours. Then you go to all 6 steps. And then after you finish 6 steps, you create the list for John for tomorrow or for today if you do it before he starts working, or early in the morning when he knows what to do in the morning, and by 10 o'clock you already gave him the new list. So after you finish John, you go to Mark, second player, third player. So you go through all your players,
Mm-hmm.
and you cannot. That's why you're getting paid. That's your job.
As a manager, yeah.
Nothing else.
Mm-hmm. So I wake up, I analyze.
After you, first of all, when you're doing this, you already you filling out, you pressing enter, and it goes to them, so they get feedback right away. Your player, your John, you analyzed his list, you wrote some comments, bam, he already reads it, so it's a real time.
Interesting. It'd be very cool if there could be like some sort of app that can do that for
Yes,
you.
they have an app.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
the app is forcing you to work properly. And then after you finish all of them, you're ready for meeting with me, M2, with M1, with M2. So you
Yeah.
come to meeting with M2, prepared, all your team, and you start telling
Mm-hmm.
me about each player, about yesterday, what they
Mm-hmm.
did. So I have the full picture, even though I don't talk to them, but I know everybody and I know everything that's going on.
Mm-hmm. So I wake up, I analyze John. I give John a score for each of the steps. Excellent, good, great. However they want to score it, they could do it out of 5, they could do it out of 10, out of 100, right?
I like
Um,
five system. 5 is excellent, 4 is good, 3 is bad, 2 is terrible.
yeah. We score each one of the steps, the 6 steps, and based off the score, we then decide how we're going to give him tasks for today. I decide what tasks I'm going to give him today. And then I maybe set like a plan. So tasks are different from a plan a little bit, right? Because we,
Whatever, the list of things,
yeah,
what he needs to do. Because if you don't tell them what to do, he will do whatever he wants, and
yeah,
whatever he wants is not what needs to be done.
right, right. And then also as a manager, I could probably set weekly plans. I could also set monthly plans, yearly plans, quarterly plans, as far as like finances and how many calls we want to have. And let's say if it's
Most important is daily. First, of course, you create how you create the daily plan. You first think about the months or a year or a quarter, then months, then week, then day. But my system is daily management.
daily management. Gotcha. So
The
there's a
business is a sport.
hmm
Game is every day.
hmm
If you have a retail, let's say 7 days a week you open, so it means you have every morning 9 o'clock new game starts. So we have to uh, analyze each game
hmm
and prepare for the next game. And
hmm
that's the role of the manager, the only role.
So realistically, I wake up in the morning. I look at I look at what yesterday's plan was. I look at what yesterday's result was. I analyze yesterday's result for each person, and then I set the plan for today.
Yes,
And I do that with every person.
yes. So if you feel it, so if you master the system, you can manage it more than 10. You can manage 20 people. As long as you do this systematically. And if they're all like level 1 player, will take you 5 minutes each. They know what to do. They will send you plan themselves, and you just correct.
Wow.
If level 1 players, they know, they create a plan, correct plan themselves.
Mhm.
Yes, you put plus, you put check. If you accept, it's like exactly as you gave them the plan.
Mhm.
So, and you know what I like to do? Let's say you M1, you make, let's say, $4,000 a month, and you have 10 players. So I tell you, Ilan, I pay you $400 for managing each player the way I want you to manage, using this system, not how you want, not spontaneously. because when you use the system, I know that's the perfect, best, most efficient. Plus, it's transparent. I see everything daily. So if you if you do using the system, I pay you 400 each. So you go. It means that I can make double 8,000 if I manage 20 people. I say yes. Doesn't matter if you're able to manage. If you're able to have it 20 people level, first level, I will pay. I will. It's for me. It's reasonable to pay to M1 $400 for each person. So if you manage 5 people, you will get 2,000 people, $2,000. So when you hear that, you become motivated to use the system because this system allows you to manage more people.
Hmm.
So this way you reduce amount of managers. It's much easier to have great 5 great managers than 15 great managers. So you keep the best managers who use this system. It's all transparent. You know, even if you have 1,000 people, you can click every day, any day on each person and see 360 degrees.
Hmm.
Can you imagine you have 1,100 people, you boss, you owner, you CEO, you click and you see you have 20 people in your company level 4. So you write down why. That's it. 2 weeks later, you will not have anybody with level 4 because nobody will be able to explain you why. Nobody. It's not a island where only 4 people lives. It's 8 billion people we have. So it's only because of laziness. So
Or not, or not knowing that.
gentle pressure. But if you don't have the system, this system, and you have 1,000 people, you don't know the level. You don't know about everybody how they worked yesterday. You don't know.
Yeah,
It's a mystery. It's your own company, but it's a black box for you.
that's the reality of most businesses. They live in that level of not knowing. Interesting. So you think that a business owner watching this video right now, we've been on for about 2 hours, if they start taking actionable steps, they could already start seeing a change within their company?
Obviously, if he has the right product, I mean, if you have a perfect management system, but if you have a wrong business model, will not help. If you're trying to sell the Nokia phones right now with the perfect management system, will not work. You will lose money. So you have to have a right product, right time, and right price. This is a business model. But if you have that, if people are buying right now, people are buying every day from your company, then it's all about management system.
Right.
So that's why I'm so passionate. I see how it works in my company. That's why I'm teaching other business owners. I love that. I teach for 15 years. When I teach, I learn. I learn. That's one of the reasons I'm teaching, because if you want to learn something very, very deep, you start teaching. And that's my style in management. In management, also, I'm like coaching style.
Yeah.
That's why I have students who, business owners who start learning the system, and I have a specific way of teaching. Also, this is the theory. What I'm telling you, this is the theory. This is only one part of the teaching. We have 3 parts in teaching. First is theory. Second is master class. I show So if you come and if you want me to teach you and your company of this management system, I explain the theory, then I conduct 5 to 10 meetings with your M1s, masterclass, M2, M1. I'm working with them and showing them the perfect meeting, how it's supposed to be between M2 and M1.
Wow.
And this is the second part. And third part of learning is correction. Then you as the owner, you as an M2 or whatever owner or professional manager M2, start conducting the meeting with M1, and I'm watching and correcting.
Wow.
And we finish education when you pass the exam, meaning that you consistently as an M2 conducting perfect meeting with M1.
Mm-hmm. So right now, you basically told them that they have to shoot with a 90-degree form, if we're
Yes,
talking about basketball. Next, you show them how they can actually shoot with a 90-degree form. And then you give it to them, and then they start shooting like this, and you're like, no,
correct.
correct it.
That's in sport. I used to be a musician
Mm-hmm.
before business. So in music and in sports, that's how teacher teaches. They give a theory,
Mm-hmm.
which is maximum 20% of the time, maximum
20% of what of
of all
mastery.
100%, maximum maybe 10%. Theory is then they show you because when I gave you the theory, I mean, it's understandable. You have a feeling that I will go and be able to do it myself. No. When my teacher gave me the theory in music, I had the feeling that I would be able to play. Then he takes the instrument and he plays. He shows me. I want to take the instrument and I have a feeling that I would be able to do it because it's so easy. Looks easy, looks, because he's a master. I take the instrument, start playing, and nothing works. And he's correcting me, until I play the same in sport.
Mm-hmm.
Theory, then master class, then master teacher supposed to show you, and then correction.
Mm-hmm. So how long would you say that would take someone, knowing obviously some people will get it more than others, but on average, how long would it actually take for someone to go through all three steps if you're there
If the person would do what I tell him to do, it should take 3 months.
3 months?
Take 4 months. Depending on the size of the company.
Hmm. And what kind of impact can that make on their business?
As far as profit, it can be 3 times more,
Hmm.
2 times, 3 times, as long as the business model is right. The
Right.
people are buying the product because it's the right price, right time, right product, right price, right time. But then it's all about management. And what's management? It's certain amount of employees for this company, 100 people, 50 people, 1,000 people, and then make everybody, without yelling at them, make everybody level 1.
Hmm.
Obviously, it will give double, triple sales and double, triple, or more in profit.
Hmm. Hmm. Can you maybe give us some examples of some of your students that you taught the system to? If, I mean, it may be, I don't know if it's confidential information, but maybe you can give us, without giving any names of the companies or the names of the owners, but like,
I have many, many, many. I'm teaching for 15 years. I have so many companies from small companies, usually 20 people, uh, to thousands of people. I have people from Forbes, my students, uh, they bring their managers, and they ask me to help them to install this management system in the whole company.
Hmm.
And I enjoy working with any size of the company, as long as people like the information and practice.
Hmm. Is there maybe like one or two examples that you can give about like an exact company, what niche they are in, and what you've helped them accomplish after incorporating this management system, and how long it took?
For example, one moving company from United States, they within approximately 6 months, they doubled the sales
Wow.
and tripled the profit.
Wow. Within 6 months.
Yes, because when the sales grow double, I mean, some of expenses are constant. So,
Yeah.
so profit grew 3 times.
Wow.
Profit grew from 30K per month to 100K per month.
Wow. Wow.
And sales grew from 250,000 per month to 500,000 per month. So the sales double from 250 to 500, and profit from 30 to 100, triple.
Wow. Wow. Any other examples you have?
Chain of restaurants, 100 restaurants, also uh, sales grew 50% and profit double.
Wow. And how long did it take?
Approximately 9 months to a year.
Hmm. Without much sacrifice.
I mean, a lot of managers, they're against this system. They're resisting because it's such a transparent system. I mean, you see everything. Because a lot of managers, they like to hide the information, so their boss doesn't know everything. So you you cannot see whether you work good or bad.
Hmm. Wow. And so the results.
It takes character of the CEO, of the owner, to implement the system, because it's like putting the cameras in your office. It's always resistance. If you remember, if whoever is listening, when you install the cameras, whatever, like 10 years ago, when the technology, I mean, everybody was in shock. Everybody was against it, because now you see who is working, who is not working. So but this is even deeper than cameras.
Yeah.
It's like X-ray. It goes like deep, much deeper. What's inside, all 360 degrees, X-ray every day of each person.
Yeah. I know some people that work for companies and they get paid to work 8 hours a day, but I asked them, I'm like, okay, how much hours do you actually work? Well, like 1 to 2. And the company is
The
paying them all
company
this
is not.
money.
The company doesn't know.
Company doesn't know exactly
They
because
would be against this system.
yeah, they don't have the management system correct. What about okay, results make sense, a lot of case studies and a lot of people that you've helped double their sales, triple their sales, double their profits, and so forth. Um, what about certain problems that would solve in the business? Because I know a lot of business owners have the problem of not being able to leave on vacation with their family for 1 to 2 days without their business starting to collapse, or they have to micromanage everything. They're working 14 hours a day because they're here and they're there and they don't have the proper management systems. So talk to me about some of the problems that this will actually solve. Not only will the financial results grow when incorporating this management system, but also they'll cut back time
Yes.
spending at work, right?
No, you will. I mean, you still will work all the time, like
Hmm.
all the entrepreneurs do all the time. But you have two times of work, thinking and doing. You just will be thinking.
Hmm.
Everybody will do the work. You just will look at your company, how everything works, and you will just observe and think. And you can think on vacation, on moving, on in the car, you can live anywhere you want. You can travel. You just open your computer and you just see how everything works. But you will continue thinking about your company. But it's very enjoyable. It's fun to think. It's not fun to be a firefighter to like resolve problems. You will have the team. They will put all the fires.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
you will just think. You will become development director, I call it, or in your company. You will think about the growth of the company.
Hmm. Work on the business and create new ideas rather than in the business.
Yes, much more fun. Much more fun.
Of course, of course. And you also you managed a company. I know that you're in Miami right now, right?
Right.
But at the peak of at the peak of your restaurants, there was a point where you were living in
In
California.
California and managed the company in central Russia, not even the like. So it was a 12, 14 hours difference, and
Wow.
there was thousands of employees. That all because of the system, of this system,
So,
which got even better
mhm,
because I'm like an iPhone 5, 6, 15, 16. Every year I'm improving. Every time I'm just.
mhm,
This is like the last, what I just told you, the most recent version of this system.
6.0.
Yes.
So, so you had 735 restaurants, 10,000 employees, $200 million in annual revenue, a company that's worth almost $500 million, and you were all managing. And it wasn't like it's an online business. It was physical retail locations, sushi shops, right? Delivery of sushi. And you were doing that from a whole different country with 10, 12-hour differences.
Yes.
That's incredible. All thanks to this management system. Wow. Wonderful. And most people don't even think that they could open up the second location because the first location doesn't work until without them having to
That's
micromanage everything.
fascinating. That's fascinating. How using the right system you can grow the business and manage the large amount of people from anywhere in the world. And
Yeah.
without the system, you have 3, 5 people, and you can go crazy. 10 people, 20 people can go crazy.
Wow.
It's just a difference between the right system and no system or wrong system.
Wow. Wonderful. Is there anything that we didn't mention that you feel like needs to be discussed? Or do you think that we covered all the points?
Um, I think we covered most of the points. So I'm excited to start teaching English-speaking business owners because all 15 years I was just teaching Russian-speaking business owners, and I'm very, very excited.
Let's do it. Wonderful. Thank you for
Okay,
your time.
thank you, my son.
Have a good one.
Bye.
I'll probably shoot you a call right now.
Okay, bye.